Hello, my name's Kevin from a company called No Burn. Over the last few years we've developed a range of intumescent products for use in farms to paint additives and what have you. Simple chemistry things which can make fireproof paint for painting fences and timber sheds. But I have something under this cloth here I'd like to show you, and this we believe is the answer to fighting bushfires in Australia and other countries. But before I do that, I'd like to quickly talk to you about the chemistry of fire. See, fire needs three things to propagate. It needs heat, it needs a fuel, and it definitely needs oxygen. Now, if I light this little candle for a moment, right, you can see that's burning, but it's not the wick that's actually burning, as in a bushfire. It's not the trunks of trees that actually burn initially. The heat generates methane gas and other volatile organic substances. And in the case of the candle, it's vaporizing the wax, and the wax is what supports the flame. And if I blow this out, as you'll see, you can see the smoke coming off there. That is those volatile gases which perpetuate a fire. Now, when I just blew that out there, by blowing wind over that, what I've done is dissipate those gases so they can no longer support combustion. And this device I have under the cloth here is designed to do that on a much larger scale. This is a scale model, a 1/25th model of what we're proposing to build with your help. It's a 30-ton excavator, and with that, mounted to the excavator is a simulation of a jet engine. Now, the jet engine we're proposing to use is a Westinghouse J40 jet engine. It's what they use on fighter planes, and this produces an exhaust gas of about 800 miles per hour, or Mach 1. And with that, when this unit is firing up, the tubes down here deliver water which has a fire retardant mixed in the water. So when you come up to a bushfire and ignite this thing, firstly, it creates an enormously fast wind. The mist that goes in here, it comes out like a fog, but it actually cools the exhaust gas, and you can actually fight a fire from about 250 to 300 metres from the fire front. Now, this is really important, and I'll come back to our Southerly Buster in a moment, but you've noticed in news clips of bushfires, the firefighters are using a truck with hoses and pumps and what have you, but they've got to be in close proximity of the fire to actually effectively put the fire out. And of course, the hoses, they're really only effective in ground fires. They can spray up trees a little bit, but this machine is designed where this jet engine can be elevated on the arm of the excavator and put out canopy fires, which if I was a koala bear would be a very, very handy thing, because it puts out where the most damage is caused to our fauna. But with this excavator, it can traverse forwards and back. It's on a track. It can rotate 360 degrees. And with that, the excavator is fitted out with water tanks on both sides and a tank at the back here for jet fuel. Now, this can hold about 5,000 litres of water, this machine, but it also needs some support vehicles in the form of something like this, a water truck, right? And actually we need two. We need about roughly 50,000 litres for continuous operation. And it also needs another vehicle, a low loader, to pick it up and transport it from one place to the other. But this machine is going to cost about $950,000 to build. But what it will save in damage to farms and properties and towns, and you know the damage that bushfires cause, this unit could pay for itself very, very quickly in the case of a state government or a local council or the federal government, or even farmers who have got large crops, or forestry companies, because this can eliminate a lot of the damage caused by bushfires because it is effective. Now, the one thing about Southerly Buster, it's not a new concept. It may be new for here in Australia, but way back in 1990, when Iraq invaded Kuwait, Saddam Hussein, as they retreated, set fire to over 900 oil wells. And you may recall it was seen as the world as an ecological disaster. Well, a couple of Hungarian drilling engineers mounted two jet engines onto a Russian tank. And they literally drove up to those oil well fires, started the jet engine, injected some water there, and they blew those fires out in about 5 minutes, and they extinguished the whole 90 fires in less than 3 months. So it's a proven concept, and if you'd like to see a video of that, it's actually called Big Wind, the Hungarian one. Well, we've called our unit here Southerly Buster for no other reason except the Southerly Buster is a very refreshing, cool breeze in the summer. But we need support to build this thing because we believe this is something that Australia should have, and not one, but lots of them, several in each state. But there's also a potential where we can license the manufacturing of these things out, to, California has a lot of fires, so do they have in Europe. But this does not replace firefighting aircraft. They have a very special place. See, aerial bombardment of fires, when they load, they dump 5,000 litres of water in a strip. The problem with that, is they have to go back and reload to come back and do the next strip. Quite often the fire is advanced from where they originally bombed the water. But they could get into terrain which the Southerly Buster could never get into. This is designed to be in the proximity of towns and along bushfire trails or down highways where it can get in there and extinguish the fire very quickly and take out a lot of the risk from those volunteer bushfire fighters who really put their lives on the line. Southerly Buster can do something else as well, which a fire truck can't do. After the bushfire, Southerly Buster can go down the highway and literally blow all the debris and sticks and branches off the road and give access very quickly to emergency services. And that is important in the case of where you have towns which have been affected by fires. So Southerly Buster is a new concept. It has a hell of a lot of flexibility. I mean, it can do things which a fire truck cannot do. And we would like to raise the funding to actually get one built. And I know after we demonstrate the versatility of this, I think state governments and federal governments will support this wholeheartedly. But that's our Southerly Buster, and our webpage is www.noburn.com.au. So if you can remember No Burn, you can find us, and we would sure like to talk to you. Thank you.